if we didn't talk, though?
What if we didn't talk? It
Yeah,
was just an
I feel
hour
like
and a half worth of silence.
that's extrapolating a little bit, I think.
We could just
only talking
We
for
could
like
just get ready.
Foley work? Are we doing Foley work?
We could be
now?
professional about this, is all I'm saying.
How would we be professional about this? Would we just like immediately go in without any pre-banter?
We'd say hi and welcome to the 6 o'clock news. I'm your host, Rick Diddles.
All right.
And now to Jeff with the weather.
I'd be sports. Come on now.
I was
All right,
I didn't want to. I
didn't wanna
to
box
talk
you
about
in.
the sports ball.
I try to keep you on your toes. It's called improv, Jeff.
Yeah, you're not supposed to say no and.
All right, just let me pull the script up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Got to make sure we're hitting those important lines. Otherwise, I'll make you redo them. You know, like last time.
Yes, right.
Yeah, I remember what happened last time.
I made you do it like 137 times, and Shelley Duvall cried.
I'm crying now.
It's a Shining reference.
It was a Shining reference.
Anyway.
And that was Jeff with the weather.
That was Jeff with the weather. And welcome back to the 6 o'clock news, the seventh Star to the Right podcast. This is session 55. How you guys doing on this lazy Saturday morning?
It's not lazy. I've been doing so many things.
It's been lazy for me.
Also, it's 12:45.
I brought you a chair.
It's Saturday. All right. How are you guys doing on this regular Saturday afternoon?
Fine. Thank you for asking.
I'm sorry.
I've been better.
Excited. Episode 55. That's a solid number.
Yeah.
5 times 11.
Reads the same forward as it does backwards. Love those.
Upside down, 22.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do you guys remember from last time?
Nothing.
Episode 54.
Episode 54. That's what it was.
Oh my goodness.
We found a skeleton in a pit.
We did understand. Pit.
Underneath some rubble.
I think it's technically a grave.
I think we were all in a pit.
Oh, no, that's true, right? We found a boot with a part of a skeleton, and then we found the rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
The boot was in the pit. My bad.
The
It
boot
was
was in
in
a
a
pool
puddle.
of methanol.
It was down. It was significantly down from the main room that we went.
Yes,
in.
but
Oh, so you're
you
saying
don't-
the room itself was a pit?
That's what I think.
Colonel Mustard
Fair enough.
with the
All
boot
right, I guess. Sure. Yes, it was in a pit.
Thank you.
in the pit.
Oh
That's
gosh.
That's it. There was
That's
a
all.
boot in the pit.
Yep.
it. There were 2 more dinosaurs. They were sleeping.
There were 2 dinosaurs. They were sleeping.
We're currently in the caves under West City. White Cliff.
Wycliffe.
White Cliff.
Whitecliff.
Wycliffe.
Wycliffe.
West Town.
TM. This is where a lot of those wyverns that we were looking at before and or shooting are located. We ended up in a cave that we were able to tiptoe around everything using Micah's super special telekinetic abilities.
Yeah, that's right.
And now we're making our way upwards, trying to break into Whitcliffe and take control of the city and
Yeah.
open the gates up for
Here we
the
go.
bear army.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about right. So
The
you
Barney.
guys, when you first came in, there was just a whole bunch of whelps on the ceiling and a bunch of like viscera and, different animals that have been eaten, strewn about. Micah got you guys through. You made your way through, also made your way past 2 sleeping worms, and you found yourself in the egg chamber. So you've got a bunch of like eggs just around underneath the rubble. You found the boy that was missing their leg.
Yeah. Also very important. We found a shin in a boot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We referred to we did find the shin in the boot.
How it got there, no one knows.
No. Yeah. And you found 3 things on the soldier. Did you guys write those
3?
down? Yeah.
I
I have 3 in my
2. Well, I
maybe
technically
I didn't mention
have
one.
6.
Boot.
The boot, very
foot.
important.
So there was the super cool map.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Somebody else took the super cool map. That's why I took it.
Someone
off
else
my
write
list.
down that it is called a Nanite Surveyor.
I don't know how we would know that though, so we're gonna call it the super cool.
Okay,
map.
but I'm calling it the Nanite Surveyor.
Sure,
Mm.
perfect.
But you don't know that.
Oh, I do have nanomap written down. Yes, apparently. I'm
No
holding
meta
that.
gaming.
My-
I'm sorry.
My script does say super cool map, so
Yeah.
I don't know if I just got a faulty.
Yeah,
You wanna retake
I wrote this back and forth.
there's a
into the
there's a
script.
placeholder.
And you didn't do the full find replace.
No, I didn't.
And then we've got 5 EMP grenades and a mysterious looking device that looks like it fires a strong piston with a pointy thing on the end. Does it have a pointy thing on the end, or am I just envisioning it has a pointy thing on the end?
I believe I described it as having a sharp edge
Yeah.
to it.
That seems right.
It's a bolt gun.
Yeah.
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 Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda.
And that's where we left. Well, actually, we left off in this this weird, cool mapping device that you guys don't know the name of.
Yes. Super cool map.
It let out like this almost dust cloud that's slowly filled up the room. As soon as it came out of this device, it kind of dissipated into the air, so you can no longer see any individual molecule or like piece of whatever that dust was. And the hologram started to show a mapping of the area that you were in, specifically the cavern, and it showed like the collapsed cave face. But then additionally, it was able to start picking up some other almost cylindrical tunnel that is on the other side of this collapsed wall. And that's where we left it off. You guys have this collapsed wall theoretically in between where you want to go and where you are, and behind you, some sleeping
Worms.
dragons, for lack of a better word.
After all of the times you've been insisting that they're not.
Nah, they're basically dragons.
They're basically dragons.
The truth comes out.
And
I'm
we're in
sorry.
a dungeon. Oh God, he's dragons.
God.
Roll initiative.
You are now in Dungeons and Dragons.
How great would that be? You stumble into a dungeon and it changes the system you're playing.
All right. So what do you
Anyway.
guys do? Also, to remind people, you have obviously the three of you, Claire. You also have, I want to say, 4 robots that you've taken with you.
That is correct.
You've named them
1, 2, 3,
Juan,
4.
Juan 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
Juan's-
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Yes. I tried to call them Tulio, Thrulio, and 4, but with a PH, but you weren't having any of that.
I
except for the
just
last
don't
one.
think Nona's quite that creative. In fact, I'm a little bit regretting Juan. I think she would just call him 1.
That's fair. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You
That's
have all.
true.
Which
and
one of
2
those
and
is
3
the
are
leader
the
bot?
twins. 4 is
The
the,
leader
one
bot.
with the highest number is
Is
the
the
highest
big one.
HP. Yeah.
All right, cool.
It all makes sense. They're in order from who's the best.
Yep, and
Juan
you
sucks.
also have Red, who is it's his last day before retirement.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sure
He-
is.
This guy needs to retire, man.
Oh, don't worry. He won't be seeing much more action after this.
All right, so this is where you guys are. There isn't any immediate danger, so there is an opportunity to discuss things. At the very least, you like it doesn't seem that any of the eggs are imminently hatching. I did quickly describe the so there's a lot of these smaller eggs that are about whelp size.
Yeah.
And then there's these 2 large pods in the center of this room, one of which is partially open. It's just like the top of it is just a little open, but you can't quite see what is in that pod unless you take a closer look.
I also believe from where we left off last time, I was kind of, while other people were investigating the pile of things, I was just kind of standing there and I think holding a grenade and getting ready to throw it in the thing, but I don't actually recall because it has been a bit.
Yeah, I mean, we can easily retcon that. I
Yes.
feel like that is something that Nona would do. Yeah.
Getting prepared to blow up stuff. I also did want to make sure that somebody actually took the 5 EMP grenades and has that in their inventory somewhere.
I have 2 listed.
Fair enough.
How'd you guys split those up? So
I don't
2
have any.
Yeah. No, doesn't have any. 2, I think, went to Micah, 1 went to Red, 1 to Claire, and 1 to Alex. Yeah.
Cool. And I will, if I haven't already, I will claim the, what do we call it? The
The
spiky
nanite
thing.
server. Oh, the bolt gun.
not the super cool map. The bolt gun. That's it.
Yeah.
I will
The
claim that.
spike shooter.
So what do you? This is what is in front of you guys. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah. Well, I guess it looks like there's some kind of column behind this wall. I guess that's our way up. It doesn't look like there's another way up. It does there, or does there?
So from where you are right now, there doesn't appear to be.
So I guess we got to get through this one way or another.
The map doesn't. It only shows like a map, right? It doesn't show people or living things or anything like that.
It actually shows the terrain as like solids that it runs into. So I wrote up a quick thing that I could pull up real quick. This is a homebrewed item, so apologies if it is a little funky. A chrome-plated orb that, when held, releases a cloud of harmless, glowing nanites. The nanites, undetectable by anything other than a sophisticated tech level 4 security, float outwards, mapping all of the surroundings within 50 meters and build a holographic map that is displayed above the orb. Only about 1 kilometer of area, effectively one location, can be maintained in memory at time before the existing file must be erased.
Cool.
So then, is it mapping out the room we're currently in?
That is correct.
What do the sleeping dragons look like on the map? Are they just bumps?
That they might be more than 50 meters away.
Oh, gotcha.
It only goes out to about 50 meters. But if you walk in that direction, it would slowly sort of
Sure.
map out that. But the eggs in the room that you're currently in just kind of look like bumps. It seems better for terrain mapping than getting up-to-date information about detailed things in the room.
Gotcha.
Neat.
How fast can you move rock with your telekinesis?
So I can only grab one at a time right now.
I see.
So I can chuck them at, I think it's like 20 meters per round or something.
20
But
meters over 6 seconds.
not super fast. Like I could probably
3 meters per second.
like dig this out between my hands and telekinesis like twice as fast maybe as a regular
I also
person.
have more hands,
You do have more hands.
and they are attached to robots.
Jeff, I think you said last time that we kind of had an eyeball measure of how long it might take to dig this out by hand. What was that?
It depends on how many people are helping, how fast you want to go. The faster you go, the more likely you are to make noise.
Mm-hmm.
So it really depends. This could take anywhere from probably, like, if you guys really went at it, probably only take 10, 20 minutes. But you'd be making a lot of noise. There'd be a lot of rocks going, like falling
Like
on the ground
throwing
and stuff like
everywhere,
that.
sure.
Effectively, yeah. If you were to move slower, it would probably be closer to like 45 minutes to an hour.
Great.
Well, we only have so much cover, so maybe faster is better.
Yeah, I don't want to use like any of our resources on this, definitely. Like the traditional way of digging through something like this would be to explode it,
Yeah.
which would be very fast, but also very, very noisy.
Hmm. Also, because it's already collapsed once, it feels like, introduce dynamite to it. I don't know if that Zelda's the wall necessarily. I feel like it just makes more things fall.
Fair point. All right, then I say we dig it out and we attempt to move quickly.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm on board.
Okay.
I would like all of my robots to do this as well.
Do you have skills for skill plus and minus for the robots? It should just
all of
be
them
like
have a skill plus
baseline.
1.
Okay. Okay. So this is Micah and the Rubits doing this.
Yeah.
I think we only need one person to keep an eye on the room. So like,
Theoretically, everyone then.
Yeah.
except for like maybe Claire watching stuff.
Okay. So Claire will be the lookout, and then you have effectively 8 hands.
16.
Sorry, 8
People, yes.
people. But
This joke
16
ain't gonna get
hands.
old.
Micah
Feed it into
Micah
the
kind
ground.
of counts as 2 people because I'm
Because
using
of
my
the
actual hand.
telekinesis
Right, yeah.
versus-
Okay. All right. How am I going to do this?
17 hands.
Just one extra hand.
So,
But it's
okay.
big. It's mage hand. Actually, mage hand can only do
All
10
right.
pounds.
Here's what I'm going to
Showed it.
do.
We solved your rock puzzle, didn't we, Jeff?
No, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do this. Because the faster you guys move, the more likely you are to wake something up.
Mhm.
So what I'm going to have just one of you roll for everybody doing this. Because I don't think 8 separate rolls is going to be useful at all.
I have 4 dice out, so I can do 2 rolls at a time.
All right. So what you guys are rolling for is for speed and not for stealth. Are you being at all stealthy while you do this?
I think it attempts to be, but obviously if there's a trade-off there, I think we're leaning towards that we don't want this to take an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to roll a... all right, we're going to do 2 separate rolls. One's going to be for speed and one is going to be for loudness.
Sure.
And so speed should be the easier one and loudness should be the harder one.
Makes sense.
Yep. I'm going to have probably the best person for the speed would be Micah. I want you to roll your probably would be Constitution Exert.
Sure.
And then Nona, since you are probably going to have like all of the little guys like
Yeah.
try and clean everything up. They're pretty good at that. How about you roll for like speed and efficiency then?
Okay.
And I'll do like you're rolling for them. So they just have a +1. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You're rolling for them. So you
you want a single roll for all
Yes.
of us. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Fair enough.
And I'm going to roll an opposed roll. Okay. All right. Micah, how fast were you guys?
8 fast.
Okay. You guys moved pretty quickly. It only took about the 10 minutes that you wanted. But Nona.
I got a 9 on the dice, so I believe with the +1, that's a 10.
Okay. All right. So here's what's going to happen. You guys have nearly gotten through most of the wall as you had it. You were actually able to make pretty darn good time and pretty quickly as well. The use of Nona's various bots, almost as like a helper for each of the different people, made things quite efficient and quite fast. Near one of the last bits, there was quite a large chunk of rock that required Micah to move. She was able to pick it up, but it was supporting quite a few other rocks that tumbled down near the end. The way is clear. You see it in front of you. You see an opening that into almost like a perfectly cylindrical tunnel, one that with a slight incline. Part of it goes upwards, part of it goes farther downwards. I'll describe it a little bit more if you guys step into it. But when that last rock gets moved, there is a bit of a cascade. It's not super loud, but that did happen.
Okay.
I say on that, we run for it.
Yeah.
Maybe put the big rock down behind us, but not take that much time to try and seal it up behind us.
All right.
All
Go.
right, so you're just immediately going into the next room then.
Yep, I think so.
Awesome. Okay, so as you guys step out, it's actually a little bit of a ways downward to actually get to the floor, probably a couple of foot drop. So you guys help yourselves down into this cylindrical tunnel. The walls, floor, and ceiling have been cut out and are practically smooth bored all the way through. It's practically like a completely smooth cylinder. Something very mechanical clearly came through here. This is not natural. At regular intervals, you see these large metallic beams bracing the walls and the ceiling. Running along the ceiling are pipes and wires that seem to endlessly run in both directions. And at the center of this tunnel is a long strip of rubble. And various metals and minerals can be seen poking out of the various rocks there. And this is what you see in front of you. It took you I assume you guys were moving pretty quickly, trying to get down off of this ledge.
Mhm.
Can I have everyone make a dex? Frickin'
Dex frickin'.
dex frickin'.
Exert.
So like a climb? There's not like a climb, is there?
Mm-hmm.
No, probably like a dex exert for climbing down.
You want me to roll from the bots too?
Yes, please. Because you're doing this with some urgency.
Yep.
All right. Claire and Red are fine.
That is and 1.
Oh, a 1.
And 1.
Okay.
9 for me.
Okay.
All right. Juan got a 4, so that's not going great. 2 got an 11, 3 got an 8, 4 got an 8, and I got a 6.
Who's on first?
Okay. So Juan and Alex, Juan may have been the one helping you down. Juan has a bit of a tumble, and Alex, you come along with him. I want you to take 1d4 damage.
My knee.
Yes.
No, that's a bad one.
I skipped my knee.
4.
No, jeez. That's a
My
really
knee's
bad
gone.
Yeah, so this is where you find yourselves in. There is a slight incline to this tunnel. So there is clearly a part that goes farther up and a part that goes farther down. Where do you guys want to go? You don't hear anything immediately coming from the area behind you.
Because Alex is screaming over anything you might hear.
My knee.
He landed on my leg.
A lot of
Could
scheisse.
this happen to
No.
me?
I'll help Alex up, but I think. Are you okay?
No,
No,
it's fine. But I think all the bleeding is internal. Which is, that's what the blood's supposed to be anyway.
Supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Oh man. Oh wow, that's going to Bruce.
Okay. Do you need like a stim or anything?
No, it's
Okay.
fine. It's
All
a big
right.
it's a big bruise. It's
All right,
fine. It happens.
Let's keep
I
going
think
then.
we want to
Thank
go
you for
up
caring.
because up is.
But up is
It's
good.
been a month. I can't
If I can
actually
just have
remember,
a-
but I think we're trying to go up.
I believe up is good.
Up is where Wycliffe is currently.
Yay! I've remembered it.
Maybe not good, but it's where we're supposed to go.
No, it's gonna be great. There's robots in there.
Okay. So you guys, how are you? Are you continuing to hurry upwards?
Oh yeah, I think
Mhm.
so.
Okay. So as you're hurrying upwards, it's actually a quite a bit of a trek. There is quite a distance between where you guys came from and anything else of note. It is just these regular pillars at just periodic intervals, assumedly stood up by whatever is going farther down into making these various tunnels. You probably are walking for 5-10 minutes. Actually, not walking. Are you continuing to run, or
I
you
don't
just
think
get out
we're.
of?
I don't think we're running. I think we're speed walking. We're moving quickly, but we're not trying to like run face first into something else. That's a problem.
Okay.
We're moving
Striding.
quickly, but we're doing the.
And if we
Yeah.
can have
Looking around for
the
stuff.
nanite
purpose.
surveyor up just to kind of keep an eye on if
what's
anything's
in front of
chasing
us. Oh, behind us.
or
too.
behind or around us, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
If we
right.
have it, might as well use it.
I'll have that out. Yeah.
All right. So what I have in my notes is you have a bit of a 3-tier system. There's
Mhm.
Micah flanked by both 2 and 3.
Mhm.
There's Nona flanked by Claire and Alex, and then there's Red flanked by Juan and
Ah.
4.
That's
Mhm.
right.
All right. Micah, are you focusing more on the map ahead of you, or since you are leading everyone else?
Yeah. I think it makes sense for me to hand the map back if we're like pushing forward, because I'd like to have eyes in front.
It would be cool, I think, for maybe Alex to have it.
Sure.
Okay. Can I have both Micah and Alex make a wisdom notice check, please?
Yeah, you can.
But Jeff, I'm wise.
I rolled 36 and take the lowest. Drop the lowest.
I'm not wise.
God.
4.
You're not wise either.
I'm not very wise.
5.
Hooray! We've done it.
Everything's fine.
You guys don't notice anything.
Great.
Amazing.
Love that for us.
As you
It's turning purple.
as you keep making your way upwards, eventually the hallway, not the hallway, it's a tunnel, starts to open up a little bit, and you see parts of various sides of the tunnel where you see like the glinting precious metals. Some of them have been torn out of the wall itself. It's no longer this smooth bore tunnel, but there's now various offshoots here and there. And as you are getting to a point where this opens up a little, even a bit more, you hear this metallic coming from above you. Red notices it first and points upwards to see something scuttling along the pipes and the wires that hang above you. And all of a sudden, 4 metallic robotic creatures fall on you all.
Cool.
One falls on Micah, one falls on Claire, one falls on Red, and one falls on Juan.
One on Juan.
One on Juan. All right. So there's Micah, Claire, Red, and Juan. All right. And they do this.
I think Red actually takes double damage from surprise attacks. So
It really does.
just kind of keep an eye out.
Micah, that was an 11. I assume that does not hit you.
It does not.
Okay. Oh, no. That hit Claire.
No.
That hit Red. Does a 22 hit Juan?
Yep.
All right. So all of a sudden, these, and I can describe them now, a metallic crab-looking device. Its light construction and 6 legs allow it to traverse on walls and ceilings. And a glimpse of its underbelly that you see as it falls down upon you shows an array of menacing buzzsaws.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's actually a lot better than I anticipated. Oh, all right.
All right. So, oh, jeez. Okay. Claire takes 9 damage. I'm going to start keeping track of this.
I love RPGs. Because just like, Alex tripped and hurt his knee. That's half as much damage as 2 tons of metal coming down on your head.
I'm willing
Buzz saw first.
I probably should have done 1d2. Just take 2 damage.
All right.
That's why I was asking. It's like, damn, does your leg work at all anymore?
For now.
That's like half of your HP.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, it's not that bad. It's a 6.
Math.
Okay, that's 4 damage for Red.
Doubled to
8. And Swan takes 2 damage. All right, I need you all to roll for initiative.
Why?
Hold on. There's actually one more important thing that I need to do. So these things fell down onto Micah, Red, Claire, and Juan. But now I have to roll some opposing checks. Oh no.
That's the thing that
Claire.
I was worried about.
Oh no, Claire. Claire failed hers.
Claire.
All right.
Red succeeded at his. And so Juan, I need you to make a strength exert check.
Okay.
It's just I assume it's just the +1 still.
Yeah, that's my understanding. That is a 7.
Okay, that does not beat a 12.
Cool.
So Claire and
Love math.
both on Claire and Juan, the creature's 6 legs are able to clamp down on the heads of Claire and Juan, and it continues to doing its whirl. Claire is quite upset with this. Juan, tell me how Juan feels.
Juan doesn't feel anything. Juan is a machine,
All right.
a tool for my use.
So this is going to be pretty quick, so I don't think it's going to be necessary to take out a map.
Cool.
But I'm going to need everyone to roll a D8 for me.
Plus Dex, right?
Plus Dex, yes. And I might be lazy and use this initiative throughout, if that's all right.
I encourage it.
Is that it?
5.
5 for Nona?
4 for Micah.
6
Nice.
for me.
6 for Alex.
Today's episode brought to you by...
Rolling dice.
You ever need a number?
Any number. Roll a die.
That's your number now.
That's your number
the only
now.
one you get.
It's the only one you need, and
take
it's the
care of
only
it.
one you get. All right. Where's Claire's and Red's stuff?
If you're looking for a representation of the whims of fate, roll a die.
Fucking
And want to hear that nice little noise? Roll a die. There it is.
Love that.
chunky chunk.
Well, yeah, metal ones.
That's a metal D20.
That's a little bit less of a clickety clack and more of a thunkety thunk.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna have your robots go like before or after you,
That's
right?
completely fine with me.
Cool. I don't want to deal with like
It's-
freaking 15 things on the.
Completely fine with me.
All right. So I have all of the.
Don't worry,
pieces.
we're very close to having one less.
Yeah. Oh, really? How much HP do they have?
Like Juan has 5 total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's going down.
Yeah. All right. So Red goes first and is going to take an attack at the one that's in front of him that just took a chunk out of his head. He got a 1. So disoriented, he just fires blindly at the thing scuttling along the ground between you guys. Alex, it's now your go. You see, based off of what we said, Claire's across from you with one of these things on her head.
I mean, I'm going to try to get that one off of her head. Is it like...
It's not fused, but you would... So effectively, pulling back the...
Mhm.
What I've written here is... creature must first hit a regular melee attack. If that is done, it does an opposed strength or dex, punch, or exert check. If the creature wins, it has successfully attached itself to the target. And I won't continue reading what it does afterwards. But any ally of the attached target or the target itself may reattempt the opposed skill check in order to remove the creature from the target.
Cool.
So you
Ooh,
may
man.
use an action to try and perform that that opposed check again.
Is Claire the only one who has that besides Juan?
Juan
Don't
has
worry
one
about
on
Juan.
its head as
Yeah,
well.
I know. I'm not.
Thank you.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about Juan. Save our second space
why not?
child.
I'll try to get the robot off of Claire's head.
Okay.
I see that pretty often.
So I either need a strength or dex, exert or punch.
That is going to be an 8.
It got a 7.
Nice.
So you successfully remove this thing. You take it in your hands and start pulling away from Claire. It wasn't able to get a fully strong grip on her, but you do clearly see 6 indents that are bleeding a little bit around her skull as she reorients herself. You throw this thing onto the ground because its buzzsaws were scary around your fingers.
Yeah.
Like, ah, get- and Nona, it is now your go.
Oh, all right.
There is one of these things on the ground in front of both Micah, well, now Alex,
Mm-hmm.
Red, as well as on Juan's head as well.
All right.
Activate self-destruct.
So we have 4 of them total.
4 of them total, yes.
All right, cool. I'm gonna shoot at the one close. Well, yeah, I will. The only one that's on somebody's head right now is just Juan, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna shoot at the one on Juan's head.
Okay. You can do that.
Cool. That's probably not gonna do it. That is a 10 to hit.
10 hits.
Oh, cool.
These things don't appear to be they seem to be very delicate pieces of machinery, and you're able to hit it quite on its body, whatever you might call it.
Neat.
When I think buzzsaws, I think dainty.
Little dainty. I mean, it's getting
That
shot with
is,
a bullet.
13 damage.
And so the one on Juan's head just explodes. It doesn't explode as in there's an explosive in it, but more it just falls apart. Buzzsaws go flying in various directions.
Just like write that down.
They hop on people's heads and then they just explode. That would be an
That works.
effective. That's an
pretty
effective
good.
That
means
would suck.
of killing NPCs.
And no one is
turns
like,
out.
write that down.
All right, great. Then I'm going to have each of my robots fire on a different one of these things, except 3 and 4 are both going to shoot at the one that has just been dropped on the ground in front of Alex.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
that's his name.
Don't wear it out.
I'm terrible at visualizing things. I'm sorry, friends.
That's
Okay.
fair. You've got like 3 rows of people.
Yeah.
2 of them are in the middle row, and 1 of them is in the front row now
Yeah.
because with Micah.
Got it. Okay.
So on then we can just, however you're envisioning it, start from the top left and
Sure.
All right. Ooh, that's not good.
Just tell me how many hits they have.
Well, that's a 5 and a 4 to hit, so I don't think that's right.
5 and 4s do not hit.
Yep. And then these other 2. A 17 and a 15.
Those both hit.
All right. I believe those were both the ones that were pointing at the one in front of Alex. So rolling to hit.
it's a total of 13 damage between the 2 of them.
Okay. I'm gonna give it that one's going to fire and then another one's going to fire because this is more of a trap than an actual combat.
Okay.
So
in that case,
can I get
it
them
is
split up?
7 damage from the first one.
7 and 6 damage.
Yep.
Yep, they're both dead.
Oh.
And so the ones in front of Red and Alex have been absolutely disintegrated. So the only one that we have left is the one that harmlessly fell at the feet of Micah and is almost doing a little turtle that tries to right itself.
The
And it's
buzz
just kind of
spin
Yeah,
harmlessly in the air.
It
We
would be
feel slightly bad for it.
a little bit sadder if it wasn't made out of buzzsaws.
and Micah, it is now your go.
I'm going to try and reach out with my telekinetic manipulation to try and crush it.
That's the thing that you can just do.
So that is bot scrapping is a thing that I can do with my standard manipulation as long as it's not a VI or
It's
or
an
a true
expert
AI.
system.
Yeah, cool.
So-
So yes.
Yes.
So that means all good.
Yep.
Okay, so
What is it an expert at?
Jumping at people's heads and sawing
It
them.
has a PhD.
what do these things even do?
Excuse me. It's Dr. Buzzsaw. Thank you.
So, all right, if it's like an especially hardy military bot, it takes 3d10 damage. If it's not one of those, it just gets destroyed.
It just gets destroyed.
Okay, cool.
Even 3D10 would have absolutely demolished it. So Micah just looks at the ground, this thing kind of whirling on its back, and just
Pathetic.
crush, and it just crunches into a
Do you
little
do the
ball.
cool hand thing?
It was,
Absolutely, I do.
Like
the cool
in the
hand
air,
thing.
you just slowly.
oh my wow.
And you guys are out of combat.
Fantastic.
Claire is not looking great. Could be better. Could be much worse.
Could be much, much worse.
It could be much, much worse. She falls to her knees as she just kind of grasps her head.
Hey, you okay? You all right, Claire?
Yes. No, I am.
Oh no, I got her throat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, no, not
sorry.
not
Little
good.
disoriented.
It's totally my fault. I was fully examining my leg bruise. I was not paying attention. I'm so sorry. You're okay now? You're fine?
Yeah. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. As she wipes away some of the blood from her eyes, as you take a quick look at some of the, It turns out when a forehead bleeds, it bleeds quite profusely. It looks a lot gnarlier than it actually is. She is actually okay. She's not doing great, but she does have quite a bit of blood in her hair and going down her face. Could we have a bandage or something?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you want the cause one? Ka-chow? Or I have Hello Kitty.
Hello.
I have
Kitty.
one that just has a Tabasco bottle on it.
For some reason.
No, Hello Kitty.
Those
Hello
are my
Kitty.
favorite.
Hello
Okay,
Kitty's
yeah,
a
for
good
sure.
one,
No,
yeah.
okay, great. Yeah, let me just, we need to clean up some of the blood. But then, yeah, and we do that.
Meanwhile, Red is looking after his own wounds. He didn't get as much of it on him. He was able to throw off this. I can't use its actual word just yet because you guys don't know it. But this mechanical crab so far, and I was able to wipe off his forehead. And it's like, well, that freaking sucked.
Yeah.
How's Nona? How's Juan doing?
We should find helmets. That was unpleasant looking.
It was very unpleasant feeling.
Yes.
Well,
Juan is fine. If Alex is stopping to heal Claire anyway, Nona will take the 15 minutes and the one pretext scrap to give him a HP back, but I don't think we're going to take 30 minutes to do the two.
Okay. Yeah, it depends on what you guys want. Claire does kind of want to take a moment.
Fair enough. Completely fine. I want to heal up my bots as long as it's not preventing us from progressing forward. If we are choosing to do other things at the same time, completely fine with that.
yeah, I'm also going to take the opportunity to heal up Claire a bit because she took a fair amount of damage, actually. So I'll do the biopsionics.
Okay.
11.
You've healed her for 11?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she's completely fine. What does this look like?
It's
I forget
gold.
exactly how you
Alex's
do it.
psionics are kind of visible when he uses it. It's almost like kind of sparks. His eyes go like a little gold color. He can do it at a distance, but with touch, it's like his hand kind of begins to spark a little bit at the fingertips. He'll touch Claire on the shoulder, and the sparks kind of fly up, kind of trace their way up like her neck around to where the cut is, and just kind of begin to almost sizzle across the cut, and just kind of knead it back together. Yeah.
Yeah, and at that, I don't think Red was aware that you were a bioscion. Says, "Oh, that's pretty nifty trick you got there."
Yeah. Yeah, it has applications. And I hand him one of the Lightning McQueen band-aids.
Oh, thanks. I love cars. Mater, he's my favorite.
Of course he is, right?
As he puts his Lightning McQueen bandage over one of the 6 marks that were pressed into his skull.
I would like to also examine the mechanical crab buzzsaw thing that got crushed as opposed to the ones that we exploded. Because I'm assuming it's a little bit more there.
Yeah, I mean, they're all in various forms of destroyed. Some of them just had like their legs kind of blown off and are kind of just crawling in a circle. Some of
fair
them
enough.
are
Whichever
just
one's the
completely-
least
Yeah.
destroyed, I want to take a look at and see if I can figure out kind of what's its deal. Obviously, it likes being on people's heads and climbing on the ceiling, but like, what else is there? Does it like long walks on the beach, for example?
Okay, yeah. Can you make an intelligence? This would probably be a fixed check rather than no.
Oh,
You're
I would love that.
Yeah,
I would love to
I'm
make
fully
that
aware.
check.
Like this is your jam.
That is an 8.
8. Okay. So with that, I'll let you know what you find. You go through this thing, and it's a pretty like shoddily put together piece of wear. It seems like it's not really meant for heavy combat. Very clearly, it's meant to surprise, quickly do a thing, or maybe be used as some part of like medical procedure or something along those lines. And as you're digging around the guts of this thing,
Say it. Say it.
you see a long, thin cylinder. The exact same one that you found in all of the various Fistocin animals. And it seems that the mechanism that you see in front of you is it attaches itself directly to the forehead
Yeah.
and through the skull implants this device. I'm going to now read the entirety of this thing's ability, since you've effectively worked out what it does.
You were trying to brain control our psychic space child. I don't appreciate that.
We've already talked about if it hits, it does the check, and then it successfully attaches itself to the target. Every turn afterwards, the creature may make a guaranteed hit against the target for normal damage. If this kills the target, it is raised as something else, which I have in my notes as a name, but I'm not giving you that,
Fair enough.
with its current equipment.
Cool.
So it attaches itself to the forehead and then implants the mind control.
That's actually a lot less scary than I thought it was going to be. I thought the like strength check and it was just on there. And if we didn't get it off by its next turn, it was just going to.
I mean, it does
A lot of
a
damage.
lot of damage.
A lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
This is fair.
But it has a pretty decent. These things are built for one purpose in mind: to get onto the target, grab a hold, and sit there for as long as possible. It isn't built to withstand like a blow either from some kind of melee weapon or a gunshot. It basically will explode. It's very delicate in that respect, but it's very good at what it does when it is able to do it.
Well, I will obviously share this information with the group. I think in the sense of like just kind of poking around in the guts, and then I find that thing and I'm like, I just raise it up above my head to everybody else.
A little shiver goes through Claire. Says, "Okay, let's maybe keep a look on the ceiling from now on."
Things love to be on the ceiling in here. Yeah. All right. I will do
Twice
that.
now.
Why were they here? What's like? We're still in like rock, right? It's just the walls are less natural and more man-made.
Yeah, you're still very much in like
Stone.
like stone. There is the periodic metal sort of framework that's holding up this particular tunnel, as well as some pipes and wires that run along the top, probably to power whatever's going farther down into the depths of the earth. But it seems like they were just along the running along the top of this. You weren't able to catch a glimpse of them before, so you're not entirely sure where they came from. Your first glimpse is when they first just dropped down on top of you guys.
All right.
I actually had a question also jumping back the way you described this sort of tunnel. So there's a big tunnel getting dug, and then there's also places where metal and stuff is like being taken out of the wall. That's like two separate processes.
Yes, it appears that, and I believe Dr. Lucius Leggett may have mentioned this before,
I think so.
there is an automated process. You're not entirely sure what exactly it entails, but that does the big sort of
It digs
large
a big hole.
hallways. And then there would normally be drones that would go in and pick up the little bits that were shot off, or find the little ore veins and take those back. But without a true AI running these different factories, it requires the use of, manual labor.
Sure.
So it is kind of the two-part process of one big thing just goes through and makes a lot of long hallways, and then the Minecraft strip mining, all
Yeah,
that, where you dig in one direction and then you find a thing and then you just kind of dig off to that one side and you just can kind of continually do that.
So then we're kind of reaching the point based on the differences between the walls. We're kind of reaching the point where that manual process, the people digging, we're starting to see signs of that. Yes.
Yes.
Got it. So we can roughly expect that maybe we will run into people after this point.
Yes. It is not a far off base to assume that you may run into someone at some point. You are very much now in Whitcliffe as opposed to in a cave system.
Cool.
So anything else that you guys are doing in the moment? You did take quite a moment to Nona fixed the thing, fixed Juan.
I'm assuming there's no good scrap parts to get from the bots.
If you want to take some time harvesting this stuff from them, it would take some time though.
Define.
It would probably take somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes to try and get some like usable scrap from these things.
I'll leave it for now.
Okay.
We can always come back and get them later.
Yes, it's true.
But in the interim, the time that you guys spent healing up Claire, making yourselves like ready and all of that, Nona fixing up Juan, you haven't, I assume you've all been very now checking the ceilings, making sure there hasn't been anything that you notice. So you're not entirely sure where they came from. What do you guys do?
I think after we finish healing people up, we keep going, right?
Yep.
All right. So you continue making your way, possibly a little bit more cautious at this point. Alex is going to keep a map, the map, and then Micah is taking point.
I'm looking up. I could be that person again. I'm like in the middle.
You're in the middle,
group.
so you're a good person to check for that. Micah, you're probably more checking like people on the ground level and seeing things up ahead. So as you guys, and I should mention, the entire way that you've been going through this, it was mostly in the dark. When you shined, there are no lights that were immediately apparent when you guys got into this tunnel, even with all of the metal beams and the wires and pipes running along the ceiling. But up ahead, you're starting to see a little bit more and more light. You see fixtures that are attached to these wires hanging down, giving a little bit of incandescent light. And how do you approach? I assume stealthily, quietly, and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, I think we would be as we progress, and now we're getting to the point where danger seems to be mostly ahead of us. I think we would be going slower and more cautiously.
Yeah.
Cool. So up ahead, the tunnel that you were walking up starts to open. You see those lights that I described before, but you also see side tunnels and offshoots that are dug up into the rock wall. More than just the visual, I'm taking out this ore vein, but really something human-sized, like walkways further into the rock. They don't appear to go very deep. Most of them only go a couple of yards, maybe turn once or twice. But as you make your way farther and farther up, these start to go deeper and deeper in. But as what stops you on your approach is up ahead, you see a few figures. You see in front of you emaciated individuals with an ominous metallic helmet that appears to be fused to their head by 6 painful clips. The metallic helmet covers the eyes of its supposed victim and gives a soft, glowing red visor. All 4 of these various individuals are doing various forms of mining. They have mining equipment. They're hitting the walls with pickaxes, putting stuff into carts. Now there's like a rail system that you can see moving forward. And it is, as far as you can see, just the 4 of them. They haven't noticed you.
Is anybody else picturing the SpongeBob movie? Because I'm picturing the SpongeBob movie.
You know, not too far off.
It says chum bucket on it above the visor.
All right. So, are we taking it to them, or are we using an EMP grenade?
Ooh.
We could try that. I mean, they're assuming those are the crabs that got them. I don't think that we're necessarily rescuing anybody here.
Yeah, those helmets are a little crab-shaped.
They are the crabs. Let's just throw all like mystique out the window. I wasn't entirely sure.
What are they?
If you were going to come across these guys first or the crabs first, but they are indeed.
Well, now
those
that
reptile crabs.
I do want to call out kind of out of character because it's an audio medium, so sharing my thoughts. That's weird to me. Because if the crabs are on them now, like we've run into the little tiny cylinder things being inside of brains before. So
True.
the fact that the crab is on the head means it either hasn't finished inserting this thing or something else is going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
If they haven't noticed or reacted to us yet, can I try and just like look at them to figure out like it sounds like it's probably a corpse, let's be honest, but if I can like tell that, like, is there a living person that's stuck underneath? Is there a reason why the crab is still on the head?
I think the
How would you do
I'm
that?
just like
are they
trying
struggling
to see,
against it, or are they just like standing
I mean
there?
just by their behavior,
Right.
how they're moving, how they like
They
examining the body from as much as I can from far away.
okay. You know what? Sure. I will.
You can say no.
No. I will say no.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
I will say, as far as you can tell, they are breathing. Like there is breath going in and out. They are doing
Okay.
some heavy work. And as one swings like a hammer and a pickaxe, there is like a breath that is taken there.
Okay.
So whether or not a corpse can breathe or needs to breathe, but
That's
this one is.
exactly the kind of thing I was looking out for. So okay.
Also, remind me because it's been a month. I believe Nona did some look into the brain things, and we saw that EMP could potentially short those out, but will, as far as we can tell, we don't know for sure, but will probably kill the person.
Right.
Is that right?
It was more of, it will probably free them from whatever control the device had over them, but they will probably still need medical assistance to get that out. They will not necessarily be in a great place when that happens, because it still is, for lack of a better word, sensitive to electrical impulses. So when people start thinking again, there's going to be like a weird haziness to them. So they won't be in a great state to do anything, but theoretically they could live with it in their head.
Okay, so
All right. Well,
Yeah, I
guess
wanted. I
That's fair.
noticed that you guys were saying, "Oh, so these people are just dead."
Yeah. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Fair enough.
You're not 100% sure, but people could theoretically live with these things in their brain.
Okay.
Like, and the animals very clearly do.
Yeah,
That
but
is
like
active,
under the
yes,
control.
under the control.
That's the one thing I
Yes.
didn't know about. Okay. I think, like, how close are they together?
They're spaced out. So a few of them are doing one particular thing. It seems like one is chunking out an ore vein, and a couple are starting to load them in, and another one is off doing something else a little bit farther down the tunnel. So you would theoretically be able to surmise that if you could throw your EMP grenade well enough, you could probably hit the three that are working in the close proximity to one another. The one farther down the hallway might be a little bit harder to, would not be in that blast range though.
We could get their attention and see if they group. Or you can just throw a thingy. Up to you. Or we could just attack them like normal.
I think, yeah. I'd like to try and hit the 3 that are they're closest to us, not make like a
Seeing
lot
that
of
happening,
noise.
me and all of my robot buddies are gonna shift back, just take a little step back because this has gone poorly before. These things bounce like crazy, and they're very scary.
And we have
they're
time
good,
to be a
but
little
they're
bit.
very scary.
We have time to be a little bit careful.
All right. The grenades they have. So you first need to make like a 2-hit against AC 10. And you can either do, I think, dex shoot or dex. There's not a dex throw, is there?
Oh, right. This is why I don't throw grenades.
Or you can do, yeah, you can either do dex shoot or dex exert, I think.
Okay.
Let me
If you're
check
not
that.
good at throwing, why'd we give you 2 of
I will.
them?
I don't know because I'm the fighty one, but you don't
We
understand.
needed an excuse to not give Nona one. Is the
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
see. I
reason.
see.
Let me quickly make sure that this is indeed how these things work.
I mean,
should
if
have
somebody
this
else is
up
better
in
at
front of
throwing,
me.
should somebody else throw it?
Well, if I can do exert, then that is much better than having to shoot.
Yeah. Oh, right, because you don't have to shoot normally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't use the shoot skill ever. That's why I was not actually that good at teaching Claire how to shoot a normal gun.
Yeah, so you make an attack against AC 10 on a miss, the grenade. Yeah, I think it is just dex shoot. I don't think it is dex exert.
No.
But I'll allow you to do dex exert.
Wow, thanks, Jeff.
Because I think that makes sense, like throwing a thing that's exerting yourself and you're not really shooting with it, so it doesn't really make sense either. Hit or miss, yeah. Yep. Okay.
6.
Great.
Okay, so that does not hit. On a miss, the grenade lands 1d10 meters away. So roll a d10,
Never have to roll a
10,
d10.
10,
and also
10.
roll a d12. So I'm going to say 12 o'clock is past this group, and then 1 o'clock is like around and all of that. So roll a d10 and roll a d12 for
Okay.
the bearing.
The d10 is a 5,
So
And-
5 meters away.
and the
50,
d12 is 1.
No, it's 1 d10 meters
Oh, I
away.
see.
So 50 meters, that'd be a hell of a throw. Just yeet it right past them. So 5 meters in what direction?
Number 1.
Number 1. Okay, so you overshoot them a little bit. You throw it quite past them. I will say one of them is still in the range. What is the range? I think it is within 5 meters. Yeah, so only one of them will be hit, but roll for 2d6.
It's the one that's all the way away from the rest of them.
The one that I was not gonna
hit.
No, it's the one by the cart.
Did you say 2d6?
Yes.
There's no Rube Goldberg shenanigans with the mine cart and the EMP grenade.
As 2 damage on 2d6.
You rolled snake eyes?
Correct.
Nice.
Okay.
The EMPs are useless.
They get to save for half damage.
That's hilarious.
They didn't save, so they take the full
Mighty
damage.
2 damage.
The full 2 damage. Yeah, so Micah winds up and just puts a little bit too mustard on that hot dog and just
Wait, there's-
throws it above all of them.
It hits a robot. It doesn't go off. It bounces off the
Yeah,
robot.
For 2
it
damage.
bounces off of one's head and it sort of goes off in a direction and explodes a little bit farther down the hall. You do see one get caught up in the explosion, but it doesn't appear to be all that phased. One thing that you do notice is after you throw this, the other 2 continue just working. It doesn't even appear that they noticed. But the one that you hit in the head and then hit with like the outer range of the EMP grenade takes a look down the hallway and just starts slowly shuffling its way towards you. All the other 3 seem to have not even noticed what has happened.
It's coming to say hi.
Oops.
Okay.
I think I would like, unless somebody else is going to do something, I'm going to let that individual get farther away from their group, and then I'm going to send 2 up to meet them.
Okay. And so You guys are probably you have a little bit of a distance in front of you, and you were probably like going up against the walls, trying to not to be seen, just standing in the middle of this tunnel. So this one now is probably about 10, 15 meters away from its brethren, who don't even seem to care that he's started to move this way. And you are sending 2 to just meet him?
Yeah, well, I want to actually try and stun baton him.
Oh.
That's why they've all got one-handed weapons, because some of my other dudes also have melee, which is the stun baton.
Okay, so what exactly are you telling to do?
I'm going to wait until I personally feel the time is appropriate. I'm going to say, approach that individual, attack with stun baton. Or just attack that individual with stun baton if you want.
Yes. All right. I'm going to do a very mini initiative. Roll for initiative, I guess.
Come on.
It's more of a jousting match, I feel.
They both
Like,
get one hit in.
2 is just running like stun baton forward, and the zombie thing is just running like pickaxe forward,
That's
and then
a
we're just
7.
kind of.
It also it also got a 7.
Oh my
D8
god!
plus D8 plus.
A match for the
1.
ages.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Oh, we
You want
both
to just
got.
re-roll it?
You know what? No. We're gonna
Both simultaneous
we're gonna
hit.
Rocky this.
I love this. Amazing.
They're both gonna punch each other. So
do it.
as soon as I'm gonna throw away all mysticism here. I call them Wycliffe employees in my notes.
Why?
I'm shocked. I tell you, shocked.
Sees this figure approach from the darkness and has a piece of mining equipment in their hands. I'm going to say a pickaxe, because that makes sense.
Got to stick with the
And
classics.
just comes up and swings down right as 2 just holds out their stun baton as it approaches, and we both get to make
That's hilarious.
a roll. Oh, does a 16 hit?
A 16 does hit. I got a 17.
Oh,
A 17 hits.
Fantastic.
Are they
We're
both
going
going to
straight
go
up rocket.
down?
Maybe. We'll find out. That's said. It happens. It happens. Probably not, though.
No, 3 damage.
I do 2 damage to you, but it's stun damage. I don't know if that counts for anything.
Alex leans over to everybody and whispers, "Does anyone else kind of feel bad?"
So,
You said 3 damage?
yes, 2 damage is actually not enough to take this employee down. It comes down with a pickaxe and just lodges it into 2's shoulder. They're both still up.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to give an opportunity for everyone else to do something. This feels kind of sad.
3's going to go help. But all the rest of us
Oh,
are
3's just
I'm
going to
staying
run
back
out of
here.
the shadows and then
Yeah,
do a
same
stab.
thing.
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Yeah.
3 initiative roll. Yes.
Yeah.
3 use bolt tackle. Like
6.
Yeah,
So I believe goes
just
after
roll
all
to
the-
hit.
Perfect.
you can
Ooh,
do
that's a
it.
3.
3.
The
3
3 to
rolled a
hit.
3. Yeah.
Wow.
All
All right. So 3 runs out of the shadows and takes a stun baton at this thing, and it was trying to pull out the pickaxe, and it pulls back. And right as it pulls back out of 2's shoulder, 3 does for a lunge, but it is now the Wycliffe employees pulled out of the attack range. And
Shall we try for the Rocky thing again?
it's just he's gonna wind up again and take a swing at 2 again.
This
Sounds
is the
good.
worst Pokemon game ever.
We're just sitting here. I'm watching the other ones. This is going great in Noda's book. I'm watching the other ones.
That's a 9 to hit.
That does not hit.
It comes down and misses, and now both 3 and 2 are just shocking. This is a really sad Pokemon battle.
Natural 20, so 21. I don't think we get
That
anything
hits.
special in this, though.
I think a 20 always hits.
Yeah. Okay. 4.
Okay,
Damage.
that is enough to incapacitate
Fantastic.
the employee.
Do, 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 do.
In fact, you see the shock, it goes through them, and it maybe affects something on their hardware, because the glowing visor has like a pulse of energy. It grows a little bit brighter and then just shuts off, and the Wycliffe employee just slumps over and
I'm
falls
actually
down.
gonna have 2 and 3 grab the Wycliffe employee under the armpits and just kind of drag them back to where we are.
Okay, yeah, that
I'm
happens.
keeping a distance.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
being
yeah.
overly cautious, but I'm keeping a distance. I'm just waiting for
Throw
like
a pebble at one, bring it down, shock them, drag them, repeat. It's
going the stealth archer approach. Jeff. I don't know what to tell you.
In another campaign that Chris and I are in, she is just completely dragged from Skyrim, the one of the maps. But I've unintentionally done given you guys the stealth archer approach where you just draw one of them towards you, murder that
Skyrim.
person, then just draw another one towards you, murder that
Must have
person.
been the win. Anyway, I would like to have this person by us and have Alex look at them, and I'll look at the hardware and you look at the person and figure out
Alex
if the person's
does
dead.
look at the person with
Fantastic.
pity in his eyes. And goes, "We shall never speak of this again. Let's never mention what happened here.
The saddest Pokemon battle ever.
This might have been a war crime."
I'm pretty sure a lot of the things that are happening in Wycliffe right now are considered war crimes.
Nice.
So
You know what they say? 2 war crimes, they cancel
All right.
each other out.
Is this guy dead or what?
So Alex does a quick what was it, just consciousness check. You do a liveliness check.
Yeah, check it.
There
check for
there
pulse.
is
Like,
a heartbeat. He is breathing. He's passed out. It appears that the last shock that was given by the stun baton has fried whatever delicate circuitry was in the visor that this person was wearing.
is there an easy way to get the helmet off?
Yes, it would probably require some medical tools to do so. It is not just something that you can pop off. It would require a little bit of, working, and then it is dug in. So what you saw with Claire is there were those indentations, those 6 indentations along the rim of her head. And where those indentations are for this person, they're dug in quite a bit. In fact, the skin seems to have grown a little bit over the connection.
There's like drills that come out.
Yeah, it does appear that with medical, like if you had like a clean room, you could do this no problem. You could probably do this here right now if you wanted to.
No, if the helmet's
but
broken.
yeah, it is quite on there.
Damn.
Okay, so let's try not to hit the body, but it looks like they're salvageable for not us, but another group of better people. All right, let's get the other ones.
Can I do my standard kind of make sure this shit can't turn back on kind of thing?
Yes, you do a quick check of.
You shoot the guy in the head.
Oh,
In fact, it is whatever is on, like this metallic thing that was on its head is very clearly fried now.
perfect. Okay.
You're not 100% sure whether the rod inside of it was also fried, because that requires, taking it apart when
Yeah.
it's very clearly still kind of attached. But you would say you're like 85% sure that the entire thing was fried by that last electrical shock.
Cool.
One other thing, because I don't want to refer to these things as metallic crabs anymore, is because this one's a little bit more intact than the ones that you destroyed
It has
earlier.
a label across
Yeah,
It does. And it's
Fantastic.
called compliance headwear, TM.
I'm really excited that whoever is masterminding this spent the time to label them. Branding is very important.
It's very important.
You
for
don't want to
all the
confuse
other
it.
people to see, through their red visors, what that's called.
Who are they marketing to?
Me.
We don't want to confuse it with like a misplaced bowler hat.
Yeah, you don't want to put one of these on and be like, I thought I was going out for a time on the town, but it turns out I'm just mind
Compliance
control
headwear.
now.
Mhm.
Hate that. All right. Do we want to actually go fight these things? So my biggest thing, the reason why I wanted to experiment with this, because I didn't want to accidentally kill people and then be like, oh no, we've killed people. If we can approach this with way of not killing the people, such as shooting the head things or only using stun stuff or like whatever it is.
So I will say, written within the rules itself, if you are using some form of non-lethal attacking, so like clubs or blunt objects,
Sure.
or punching, or kicking. Maybe biting. No, biting seems maybe not biting.
I don't think you can take someone down via biting.
Elbows, perhaps.
But written within the rules that you can choose to say if you were attacking with one of those non-lethal means, whether or not you were intending to kill them or not to kill them, and just incapacitate them. And I don't think there's even like a check that you have to do or attack at disadvantage. I am going to say if you try and do that with a lethal weapon, I will give you disadvantage.
Got it. Okay.
Because you're trying to shoot kneecaps instead of at the center of the body.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I'm going to rule it.
Makes
Obviously,
sense.
you have all of those stun batons
To me.
attached to these boys as well.
So it would be harder to hit, but like you're not going to make us roll for a gun and then, oh, you accidentally killed this person. It's just because you're trying to be careful, you're more likely to miss them.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Perfect.
That's what I'm intending.
Just making
Okay.
sure I understand
Okay.
the game.
Good.
Yeah, let's get the other
All right,
ones.
cool.
So there are still 3 more in the hallway. They haven't done anything. They continue on their way. In fact, one of the ones that was working with the one that just came down the hallway was going to hand them something, looks around briefly, and just takes their job and starts putting things into the cart itself and just doing the same work between the 2 of them that the 3 of them were doing.
Cool.
Are we in pistol range or
You are.
okay? Do we want to just kind of line up our
Pistol range
shots
is like
and
100
meters?
meters. Yeah, you are definitely within 100 meters. You're probably within 50 to 30 meters right now.
Really fast, let me try something. I would like to send 2 and 3 up to one of the other 2. Just like straight up walk up. No attempt to be stealthy whatsoever. I kind of want to get a sense of what is when do they start noticing things? Data gathering. We've got us a nice little
Yeah.
experiment we can do here.
So
I'm going to say
is it 2 and 3 you were sending?
yes, 2 and 3, and
2
they're going
and
to have their
3.
stun batons on them to say go attack. That
You're
guy.
keeping track of damage for 2,
Yep,
right?
I got.
Awesome.
Yep.
So they are coming. Are they brandishing the stun batons, or are they just walking up?
I think they're just going to walk up, but when they do, just have them walk up. It's great.
Okay. So you just tell 2 and 3
Go walk
walk
stand.
up to those 2 fine gentlemen,
Uh-huh.
and they do so. It is an excruciatingly long time as you wait for some kind of reaction from these 2 that are continuing to mine away at this ore vein, and they get like the 2 and 3 get within 10 meters. 5 meters, and they're just standing right next to them as these 2 individuals are just dink, dink away at the ore vein. They don't appear to do anything about these 2 robots that have just approached them.
Well, here's my question: do we bother attacking at all?
I mean, it doesn't hurt to not have workers on the other side.
Yeah. And so Red speaks up and says, yeah, if they can tell these guys to do, whatever they want, like leaving them around might just, be a problem later if we run into someone who can tell them what to do.
I guess that's true.
Okay,
All right.
I will order 2 and 3 to attack the guy that they're closest to
All
They snap his neck.
with the stun baton.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'm not gonna,
We can just battle this out if you want
I'm not
to.
going to battle this out.
Okay.
These guys, they're civilians.
Yeah.
Like you get this from these 2 security, not drones, robots, just pretty quickly taking a handle of these people. And also, they're not like civilians that are in the best of their like fitness wise. These are emaciated individuals. And so just
Let's pretend I don't know what that word means.
emaciated?
Yes.
Just like
They've been
very
unmaced.
thin.
There's skin and bone.
Like
They've been unmaced, I see.
like to the point of starvation.
Got it. Okay.
I think that's right.
That's right.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Don't look it up.
I'm looking.
You got
Don't look it up.
Don't
We
look
did
it
it.
up. We're right.
Go.
And so as you tell 2 and 3 to shock these two, there's not much resistance. One tries to, as soon as it sees the other get shocked, bring down the mining weapon. But again, it just, you know what? I'll just quickly.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, no, they miss again. I assume a 9 does not hit.
No.
And so again, shocks these guys and they fall down pretty quickly. And then there's one that's just toiling away at the back, still just doing nothing.
I get they're gonna go zap him too.
All right. And so you've done it.
The twins. They're really just
You've-
walking. I'm just picturing just walking up. This person's like, tink, tink, and they just go, bzzz,
Exactly.
and then they
And
turn around and come back.
Exactly. And so you now have incapacitated the 4 Wycliffe employees that were around here.
Our work here is done.
We've saved them. Now we go back.
Let's check what we're here for. Let's check the map. What's the way out of here?
Yeah.
Yes. So as you guys were walking, it does appear that you guys were going for quite a while. And as you approach it, it does open up a little bit more. You are seeing more of these intricate mine shafts that run across and perpendicular to one another, definitely for some kind of mining these precious stones, something that you weren't seeing before. The couple of things that you see, let me see from my notes. From where you guys are right now, you notice that some of the tunnels actually go a lot deeper into the rock face than some of the other more surface level tunnels. It's possible that something in that maze is that way. But additionally, you notice that there was this cart that was being filled with these various metals, and you see large drag marks scrape the floor beneath you and seem to twist up the tunnel towards a very well-lit area. That's where the last one was. So there appears to be 3 ways. You can either go back the way you came, go into this little bit of maze of tunnels, or you can go into this very well-lit area.
The very well lit area is up, yes?
Yes.
And we're
well,
still
both
trying
of
to
them
go
are kind of still up.
Ah, fair enough.
If Alex peeks into the cart, what's in there, like precious stones, or is it like all ore?
It's a lot of different types of ore. It's
Okay.
a lot of metals, and something kind of almost like looks very similar to the cylinders that you guys were seeing everywhere. That was made of neo-iridium. So you assume that they're mining a good portion of what they are mining is some neo-iridium ore.
Okay.
Yep. Well, I think we're trying to get in the building, so probably straight up to the where it's lit up better, I think, right?
I'm good with that.
Sure, let's do it.
All right. So you guys make your way up into the well-lit area. That was correct?
Yep.
Really fast. I'm assuming there's not like any terminals or like technology town here. We're still like in the mines, right?
Yeah, you haven't seen any of those consoles that you might be able to use just
Cool.
yet. It's mostly like the only technology you see is like the wires and stuff that are running above you,
Fair enough.
and the occasional like light source, because there is more light around here, although there's a very well lit area that you're moving towards right now. So what you guys see is, as you approach, there is quite a bustle of activity. So you go away this twisting hallway up into a very open cavern, very well lit. There are large LED lamps that are just blinding a good portion of the area, so you can see everything within it. You see carts dumping contents onto these belts that seem to be traveling farther up, possibly even into Wycliffe itself. You see a large a medium-sized makeshift building that seemed to have stairs running up to it. The lights are on that you can see from the little catwalk that is outside of it, looking through the windows. Below that makeshift building is a tunnel that seems to be somewhere that leads pretty poorly lit. It's quite dark down there. In fact, you see one of these Wycliffe employees shuffling their way into it as the shadow kind of engulfs them. And what I mentioned before is you saw this array of machines carrying these precious metals and rocks upwards. And right next to it is a large freight elevator. It appears to have some kind of console next to it, keeping the doors closed. But within this area right now, you can count about 6 Wycliffe employees, not the one that just went down the hallway, doing various tasks, one of which is loading precious metals onto some carts that are attached to screamers. You remember those trunked things before? I can quickly describe them again.
Those are not the ones that shoot the gas.
No,
Those are
they're the
smokers.
ones. They're the ones with the
trunks that make the noise that I almost
Exactly.
murdered that one time.
Yes, they were doing a charge or a bluff charge or whatever.
Yeah.
Let me just quickly. Why don't I have this in my notes? Oh,
Tisk tisk.
Quick to the wiki.
Doodaloo. We've got a massive quadruped with skin that looks like a rocky mountainside. Its short, scarred face is covered in rock-like protrusions, and on its back are 3 prehensile tentacles with clubbed ends. These have not spotted you, however, but if it did, it would start flailing these before and making a loud trumpeting noise. So they appear to be attached to these carts via some like cords and basically acting as beasts of burden for this entire situation that's happening right here.
Mm-hmm.
And so this bustling area of activity is something that you'll interact with next time. Yay!
Wow.
We did
I love a
it.
busy mind.
It's a busy mind.
So
Cool.
We're all just like contemplating the amount of time we're still going to be here.
And that's it for the 6 o'clock news. Join us back at 7, where Jeff.
I'm gonna do more weather.
More weather?
More weather.
You mean there's more?
Yes. I'll do a little fun interview about weather.
Because we got weathers, they never stop.